The media has put out many negative stories about the police, especially over the last year.
Right now, we only see a partial image of the law enforcement.
These biased reports showcase only the small percentage of these men and women's unjust actions.
These heroes put their lives on the line for the sake of justice daily.
It's time we pay them the respect they deserve by showing the public the whole story and all of the good deeds along with it.
This is a brighter shade of blue.
A documentary produced by the students of Nauset Regional High School.
Now I'm here with the title creator of this documentary. So Mitch, what made you pick this title?
Well, I've noticed that a while ago it seemed like the police officer's uniform used to be a nice shade of blue, but over time, as with their reputation, their uniform sort of took on a darker shade. So I figured, why not go back to that brighter shade of blue?
Do you have any stories you want to share to the public about a positive police story?
There was one time when I was younger. I have an autistic brother. Me and him were both going through puberty, so we were really emotionally high-strung. I ended up getting up in a really big fight with him at one point. He ended up running away. He ran from Eastham all the way to Orleans.
Whoa.
He stopped outside a Dunkin' Donuts in Orleans, near where my mom actually works. A cop actually found him, took him inside, bought him a donut, and brought him back.
Sounds like a very exciting story. Thank you.
So why did you actually want to become a cop?
At first, I remember because my brother, he was going to be an intern for the fire department. I thought it would be cool to be an intern for police department and learn about like the law and criminals and everything and apprehending them.
And where did your dream first come from?
Well, I have family who are police officers and such, and I always just thought it would be really cool. Like, I always wanted to drive a police car, be in a police car as a kid, and it was like a fantasy.
Alright, so what are your plans for after high school?
After high school, I plan on going to, I think, UMass Dartmouth for criminal enforcement, law enforcement, and then I'm hoping to get a job wherever I'm planning to live. If I'm planning to live here, then a job here, and it really can go anywhere.
Have you ever taken like a class here at Nauset Regional High School?
Yes, my sophomore year, I was taking a criminology class, criminology 1 and 2, and this year I'm taking a law class.
Oh, nice.
I remember when I was a kid, when I was little, I loved going to the police station, talking to them, and being there for like when they do the pumpkin little giveaway during Halloween. The police would come or would put a bunch of pumpkins outside in front of the lawn, and kids could just show up, grab pumpkins for their families, and it would just be a great experience just meeting the police and talking to them. How about you, Eli?
I remember for the past couple years, the cops in Provincetown have helped out kids in need at the school with a $200 gift card, and the cops from across the Cape will all meet up at a restaurant. They'll pay for food there, and then we'll go shopping with a $200 gift card. You pick out anything that you'd like.
So, can you tell us about your positive police experience?
Sure. I was going to a wedding in Alabama, and we flew into Atlanta, Georgia, so we rented a car, and we were on our way to the wedding, and it was at night, and this police car started to follow us, and eventually they pulled us over, and it was kind of scary at the time because we didn't know why we were being pulled over, and it was nighttime, it was dark, and the police came up the side of the car, asked us for our registration. We explained to them it was a rental, and they said, well, the only reason we pulled you over is because we wanted you to know that your tire in the back left tire was low and it looked dangerous. So they were doing it for our safety, and it was a nice gesture. They were very nice and sent us on our way and told us where the local gas stations were, and that was our good police experience.
Great, thank you.
I'm here with Carol, an Eastham resident, and I'm just going to ask her how she feels about the local police.
I think they do a great job. They work really hard, and I don't know what else to say, but that's the way I feel about it. I think they have a good, a lot of responsibility.
Thank you.
All right, so Michael here is going to give us a good, nice story about the local police.
Yes, it was approximately 18 months ago. I attended the Eastham Citizens Police Academy that was conducted here at Town Hall. It was a very comprehensive, I believe, 8-week program. All the officers on the force did come in and participate and expound upon their specialties and their area of expertise. They demonstrated all the equipment and all police procedures that were in effect, all the programs that are provided to our citizens here in Eastham, It was much more wide-ranging and expansive than I had originally anticipated. It was very well conducted. I was very pleased to be a participant. We did receive a certificate at the end of it, and we very much enjoyed it and highly recommend it to any. It's going to be conducted again, according to the Chief of Police, in the near future. And if anybody here in town has an opportunity and the time to attend this 8-week program, approximately 2.5, 3 hours, also the fire department also conducts a similar program. I highly recommend it, and I believe that you would enjoy it. Thank you, Mitch, for taking the time to inquire about this, and I hope you've all been well informed. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Michelle Pecoraro, and she's going to tell us her opinion on the police.
I really like the police. I think the work they do is good, and the fact that we have such a dedicated force protecting us is really awesome.
Nice. And do you have any stories in your family or with you about the police?
Yeah, my aunt got in a car crash, and the police came and saved her life. So, yeah.
It's very good.
Can you tell us about your positive police experience?
Okay, sure. Last year, my family, there's 4 of us, 2 my daughters and my wife and my dog, were going to Maine, and absent-minded myself forgot to put gas in the car, and I ran out of gas on Route 3 just in Braintree. And that was when there was big snow piles up on the side of the road, and you couldn't pull over into the right-hand lane, to the breakdown lane. So we were on the road, cars going by at like 70 miles an hour, and we were sitting there, and I'm frantic with the hazards on, waiting for AAA to come. And so finally a state cop comes behind us, and I'm thinking he's going to yell at me, be upset and all that. He couldn't have been nicer. Took the 2 girls out of the car, and my wife, and got them in the cruiser, and everybody, and then the traffic goes down to almost a stop, and I was embarrassed, and he said, "Don't be embarrassed, everybody's safe." And he followed us all the way to the gas station, gave the girls a ride, and he couldn't have been nicer. He was a great guy, and that's a positive experience.
Wow.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm here with Bella, and she's going to tell us her opinion on the police.
I think police are a very good thing for a town or a community to have. They have had a bad rep lately, but they really do help people in a very positive way.
Yeah. And do you have any personal stories or encounters with the police?
I was at a restaurant one time, and they were very polite. They were holding the door open, helping old people through, and just being overall very polite and nice people.
Nice. Well, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Dan Kelly, and I'm here with Tom Wyndham. He's going to give us his opinion about the police locally and nationally.
I have nothing but good to say about the police. They do a great job. They put their lives on the line for us every day. They defend us. And the few bad ones that you see on television are not the majority of the police. I know state police, I know local police, I know police up in Boston, and I back them up 100%. I thank them for what they do.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I talk.
So Billy, do you have anything nice about the police that they come in here? They be nice to you? They tip you or anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Most of the officers that do come in here are fairly nice, and we can actually have a conversation, and they will tip every so often.
When I was a little kid at daycare, I ran through a glass door and broke my head open, and I had to get stitches in my head, and my mom had to drive the car, and someone had to keep pressure on my head while she drove, and there happened to be a police officer nearby, and he was able to help my mom and drive the car while she was able to keep pressure, and it probably was something that kept me from any permanent damage.
First thing I'd suggest is you turn off the TV news, because it's very selective and it's very negative, often very sensational. And what we're looking for is the truth, several kinds of it, from this person and that person. We need to see all sides and the underlying causes of the problem, which doesn't fit into a soundbite. And I'm so glad you're doing this. This is great. This is really alive and well, and living in Eastham.
I'm here with Michael Sanborn, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his personal experiences with the police. So Michael, what's your opinion on them?
Overall, I'm pretty thankful for what the police do in the community. They do a lot for us to keep us safe, and it's great.
And do you have any personal stories with you or your family or your neighborhood about them?
Well, there was a series of break-ins in our neighborhood recently, and the police were very thankful for we were very thankful for what the police were doing. They got there on time, and they were ready to try and retrieve our stuff and get all the clues they could. So they've been very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you.
The police are great to have in our community because they're so protective and they keep us from going into the wrong, and they really help us to be good moral citizens and not commit crimes.
And do you have any personal experiences with the police?
Yes, I do. My cousin, Megan, is actually a state trooper in New Hampshire. So.
And what does she do?
Well, she's involved with a lot of stuff. She has a bunch of crazy stories about stuff she's done. But recently she's helped out with the Toys for Tots, which they've been doing. And she was also featured in the rifle guard that they have recently. So.
Oh, wow. And do you know any of the crazy stories? Has she told you any?
Yes, but...
Can't come up with any on the spot?
No, not really. And it might be little.
Little?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
I'd like to tell a story about an officer who let me off the hook. I had driven all day with a extremely expired license. I didn't realize it. And he made me with my license plate, followed me home. I got out of the car and told me, your license is expired. And I said, oh, I didn't realize that. I took the license out and he said, well, I'll fix that tomorrow. He says, no, you won't. You're going to need somebody to drive you to get your license. So it was a good story for the Eastham Police.
Hi, I'm here with Scott, and he's a local Eastham resident, and he's going to tell us a story about the police.
Well, I can't tell you the whole story, but they were very, very helpful when we needed their help the most. They came by our house numerous times. They were very respectful, they were very professional, they were very courteous. They got down to the bottom of the problem and they solved it very quickly, and we haven't had a problem since. We'd like to thank them very much because they went above and beyond to help us out.
Awesome, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Lang with Nauset News here with Dave, and Dave is going to share something positive about the police with us.
Everything's positive about the police department. We just with the liberal news, they just knock it, saying black people matter. Everybody matters, no matter what race you are, and they're out to do a job. It all comes back to family, where these people come from. It's the downfall of the American family. It's got nothing to do with the police department. There's no mothers, there's no fathers taking care of the kids, and that's the whole problem. Keep the government out of it. And let the families take care of their own families. The police are doing the job. Leave them alone. Because without them, you don't have a country. Okay? And that's all I can say. And thank you.
The only thing I can comment on is my own experience with the police department, and I've lived here for over 30 years, and it's always been good.
So, Officer McGrath, what are some good deeds that you've done in your police career?
Well, over this past summer, while I was on patrolling one of the beaches, a little kid came up from off the beach and asked me if he could see the cruiser and let me turn the lights on for him. So I actually got out of the car and I let him sit in the driver's seat. I showed him how the lights work, let him turn them on, let him sit in the car, kind of told him what was going on, all the different parts of the cruiser and all the different parts. And the kid loved it. He really likes talking to the police. His mom's a dispatcher, so he really likes to be involved in the community.
So you made his day?
Yes, I did.
Nice. So what are you trying to do with this construction?
The police are out here just helping move traffic along. People really don't know what to do with all the cones.
Yeah.
So we just like to help move the traffic along, make sure everyone's safe and out of the way.
Like him?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Silas Brepsky here with Lisa Brown. So Lisa, just a few quick questions. So first off, there's been a lot of media hype about the police, good and bad. Mostly negative we're seeing right now. Has this changed the way you view the police force, either locally or nationally in any way? Have your opinions changed when viewing the police?
No, not really. Being born and raised on the Cape and graduating from this school and then coming back and teaching here, and living in the Wellfleet community all of my life, pretty much. I know all the cops by a first name basis. I'm really good friends with the chief of police. They were the same group of people in Wellfleet that grabbed me by the scruff of my neck and threw me into the back of the car and drove me home when I was drunk when I was 17. Drinking age was 18 back then. And they virtually do about the same thing in Wellfleet still today. It's a very personable force. Every once in a while you get a bad seed in there, but the force has been pretty good about weeding them out. And the community, Wellfleet community, does a community policing initiative, and Wellfleet really believes that it takes a village to raise a kid, and so we're pretty supportive of our Wellfleet police, and the police are pretty supportive of us. So locally, that's where I fly there. And just as a shout out, our SRO here on campus, Diana Back, is awesome. So, you know, she's just rad. On a national level, look, I have a hard time when I'm driving to Boston and this guy is driving, you know, a statey drives by me 90 miles an hour without his lights on or without his siren on because he can, because he feels that he's above the law and privileged to just move people out of the way and speed because he can. I think that's reckless. I think it's endangerment. And if he wasn't going so damn fast, I would have grabbed his license plate and called it in, because as a citizen, I have a right to do that. And I think that there are some police who are policing for the wrong reasons. Maybe they're insecure, maybe they need a bigger car, wink wink if you get my meaning. You know, maybe there are psychological reasons for why these people needed to be vetted out a little bit more and not be police officers. But for the most part, I think our police force does a dangerous job. And on the local level, I think that they're very personable and really well trained. As far as if it bleeds, it leads situation, how unfortunate that our media, you know, feels the need to glorify the differences between us. I have a really hard time with that.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your opinion with us, and thank you for your time.
All right.
Hi, I'm Alan Castellano. I teach criminology at Nauset High School. Quite a few of my former students have gone into law enforcement.